So right off the bat, you can see that I have some reference images already on screen, and I don't use them a whole lot. Mostly, I kind of use the hair on Meatloaf there, but like I wanted to incorporate elements of these characters in this design, and I kind of meshed them all together, and it's kind of its own original thing. One thing I will say about this right off the bat is this did not take me nearly as long as I thought it was going to. So this video is about 7 minutes long, and I wanted to put a lot of work into this character, and once I kind of got done inking it it really just went a lot faster, which I don't know, to me feels like maybe I'm just getting better, uh, or I have it down to a system where I just kind of like was in the zone, you know. Um, there's not really a whole lot that I have to say about this character that like I want to say in this forum. This is a character that's created that was created by a friend of mine, and so I incorporated designs of, or I incorporated kind of the look of my friend to make this character resemble him just a little bit, but he doesn't have the long hair, and he doesn't carry a motorcycle helmet. But the gist of the character is that he is kind of a nerd, kind of a nerdy guy who's really into like Japanese superheroes and Godzilla and that kind of stuff. And he accidentally stumbles upon a an alien satellite that gives him essentially superhero powers, and it's very much inspired by things like Guyver and Kamen Rider and various other uh, uh, tokusatsu superhero things like the Power Rangers. Um, so that's the generic version of the character, because I don't want to spoil anything or really go in depth with the character. But as you can see, his name is Norman Fazio, and the joke that my friend came up with, it's kind of inspired by himself, but he thought it would be funny if the character's name was something like that, and it was, people would always call him Norman Fatso, and he would get really mad because that's mispronouncing his name. So I decided to keep that. Otherwise, it's following pretty much the same standard kind of cartoony drawing that I usually do, but I'm just ultimately really happy with the way this one turned out. So we're already blocking in color now, and it looks okay. Like at this point, I'm kind of like, all right, this has potential. And I showed it to a few people at this stage, and they were, I don't know, they said that it might as well be done, and I was like, it's not good enough. And right there, I included a note to myself. It's really difficult to include references to pop culture when you're also trying to be, to not like infringe on copyright, which isn't, I guess, I didn't have to do it that way because this is just kind of a drawing for fun. I could have put whatever I wanted into it, but like his shirt, for example, on the hoodie, it says what I believe. I'm not good at the Japanese written language at all, but I tried to make it say kaiju, and I also tried to make it kind of resemble the Godzilla title, but it's a generic version of that. And then on his jacket, on the arm, the yellow symbols, I believe say hero. So just a very generic thing, but and so I wanted to incorporate like more, like the helmet was going to be a replica of the original Kamen Rider, and I turned it into a tree frog because I thought it was cool looking. And the little circle patch I was putting on his pocket, I was kind of trying to make look a little bit like the Gorillaz logo from the band The Gorillaz, but to be kind of a copyright-free spoof of it, I suppose. And I ended up just not liking the idea of putting a pin on it, especially if it was going to be this nebulous, like, reference to nothing. So I omitted it, and ultimately there are fewer like nerdy accessories on him than I originally intended, but I'm still really happy with it because I wanted it to be casual and like I didn't just want to draw a guy who's carrying around his entire collection of manga paraphernalia. So I did this kind of cool like hipster punk rocker but a nerd kind of pose here. And as you can see, I'm getting into the detail. This is where it's really starting to take shape, and I'm getting really kind of happy with how I'm doing it. I believe we've already seen it in this video, but if not, it's coming up where I put a little scooter in there, and I was really happy with his eyes, and then I covered them up with the transparent layer of the glasses lens. So you know, if you have the Photoshop document and you take the glasses off of him, I think his eyes look really nice. The hair looked terrible. It took me a really long time to finally get happy with the hair, but lo and behold, once I did that, once I finally stuck with it and just did the work, who knew if you just actually do the work, things end up turning out better. So, anyway, this scooter, which is coming up, I swear, I do kind of have an intention of going back and doing like an actual drawing of the vehicle that he drives, but it got to the point where I draw people mostly, and I am so happy with the character that I didn't want the scooter to just look bad. And so I kind of stopped working on that, but maybe at some point I'll go back and fix it. Or perhaps maybe at some point I will do another version of the character and they'll be riding on the Vespa. I think it's called a Vespa. But I don't know where I got that. I'm pretty sure if you type in Google, if you type Vespa, you'll get either like a Hornet or a motorized scooter. There it is. And I made it pink. Thought it looked cool. I never really know what to do with backgrounds. I just played with different effects and put in some gradients in there. And ultimately, I came up with this design, which I think looks kind of like a cool little vaporwave thing. And I may be teasing a little bit, but the next one might be his transformed superhero form. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, this is Norman Fazio. Thanks.